I'll get a light real quick. Here we go. Perfect. And all right. Oh, how are we? Oh, there we go. How are we looking now?
There we go.
Much better. Now you can actually see me.
Love it.
Now, like from the depths of hell. Great. Awesome.
And then do you kind of want to run the show? How do you want to do it?
So I have we can kind of go off of a couple things. I just have like we're just riffing, talking about sports, current events, and then like something smart and something mild.
Okay. So if you kind of have like how you want this show to be structured,
Mm-hmm.
how about you kind of lead the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll kind of go along with it, and we'll just let it grow as it grows.
Yeah, it's just these four things, and then we'll kind of talk about whatever in those categories.
Love it.
Cool. And did you have anything in mind that I maybe can add in?
I don't really know right now. I'm ready to go however we go.
Yeah, feel free. Okay, cool. I'm gonna invite you to my stereo real quick. And then my one follower. Here we go. Start live. I'm calling you.
Okay.
Beautiful. Oh, reflecting mics. Oh, the sound. Oh, maybe I should wear headphones then.
Or I honestly, I think if we just bring the sound down, we'll be fine.
Okay.
Like just the volume of our own sound is probably all we have to just make sure is not there.
Okay, so I just turned down the volume of my phone, and
I think we should be okay.
Yeah, I think that should be the end of it. Awesome. So, should we start?
Let's do it. We out here.
All right. What up? My name's Cameron. I got my boy LJ on the mic right now.
How y'all doing today? Excited to be here. You know, this is something me and Cam have been talking about for a few days now. For me, this is not something that has been in the mix for a long time, but I know this has been a thought process of Cam's for a bit.
Yeah. You know, and just having someone to just riff off of and talk to, man. Like I've been talking to you for a while now, for a few months, a little over a few months now, and I think we have like pretty engaging conversations. And so it's like you know, us putting it out there and like us like you know showing the things that we talk about. Maybe it would help somebody else. Maybe able to impact somebody. You know, maybe it would make someone's day.
Yeah, and it's gonna be fun just having something where we can just stay connected and just have something weekly that we are working towards. See what it grows into. It's really one of those things that is just about having a little bit of fun, having some conversations that we can be able to record, share, and then, you know, have for ourselves, but let other people view into, and just have some fun while we're going.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm freaking pumped. So this is really exciting to me. I took a full-blown, 28-minute nap just to get ready for this.
That's a big deal.
I'm pretty hyped. Yeah.
Now, we're calling this show Smart and Mild.
Yeah.
Now, this is like a concept that you've had drawn up in your head for a while. So we've been talking about like we need to get on and just riff and do like these weekly segments. But while it's Smart and Mild, and this is a title that you've loved for a long time, what is that about? And just hope you all know that Smart and Mild was way before I was involved. So I'm just getting plugged into either the Smart or Mild.
Yeah.
For title reasons. Yeah. And then we'll see if maybe we become that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out who is the Smart and Mild in just one moment. But basically, I wanted, I mean, obviously the inspiration is from hot sauce. So because that's something I like, but no, it comes down to, I thought it was a very catchy title off of just having someone really engaging to speak to, someone that's smart, something that I can maybe pull some information from, and then maybe we can, kind of like boil it down and get it out to other people. Like if we end up talking to, professors in the future, if we end up talking to scientists, people that are, really like into their craft, maybe not have their voice out or maybe not well known. Maybe we can take things that something they know on the inside of maybe a company or organization or something like that, that we can, get out to everyone else that may seem boring, that we can actually make it a little more fun. And so the smart comes down to the smart and the mild. So the smart we reach out for, the mild is basically me.
I like that though. So it's really about like trying to bring in smart,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe we're just like this mild. We're like that lukewarm bullshit of like typical people in the world,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so like we are a bunch of mild folk trying to talk about smart shit.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
just being like, yeah, smart and mild. Like,
Smart, that's how we do it,
so we're not out here trying to be these like professional people
No.
saying that we know and have all the answers. What we're saying is like, we probably don't have any of the answers. However, I think both of me and you are very excited about discovery.
Absolutely.
And so like, I don't take pride in being like an unintelligent person. I take pride in being a person that is continually willing to discover, loves learning. I don't like being ignorant, even though I am ignorant with some things.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's also fun to put yourself in places where you're ignorant.
Yeah.
And then working through that process of like building yourself into a space of like less ignorant about that.
Absolutely.
And so as we discuss topics, I hope people realize that like we are not coming in discussing topics all the time that like we know everything about.
No.
We want to get stuff wrong, and it's actually fun to work through that process.
Absolutely. And just constantly learning. I mean, like you mentioned before, I don't like being, ignorant all the time. And I know I am for many subjects, but I would love to learn. I love to just, get new information from new people. And, and I know people love to talk about it. People love to talk about information that they know that they love to share. So it's really something that, we can get a lot out of, and we can do a lot with. And, maybe we can, like I said, find new information that not a lot of people know, and maybe get it out there, from someone. So, I think that's something that's can be really cool.
And then when you are talking, like we also find this like fun hobby in like comedy.
Yes.
So not everything or every word that comes out of our mouth happens to always be an ultimate reality or truth that we necessarily even believe in all the time. Sometimes it's just funny stuff that just needs to be said because it's the right time to say it. Yeah. And sometimes there's a lot of comedy in ignorance. So when you hear ignorant statements, might not even be necessarily because that's what we're thinking, but sometimes it's what needs to be said at the time.
Oh, absolutely. The people listening to the 3 people listening to it right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna hear some crazy things coming out of my mouth. You're gonna hear the craziest, randomest, most. I don't know what I don't even know what I'm gonna hear coming out of my mouth. So I'm pretty pumped to find that out too.
I like that. So Cameron, like, who are you right now? Like, who is this guy, Cameron, that we're speaking to? That is the creator of this show, this program. Like, where are people meeting you at in your life?
Man, that's a great question, because Cameron is just like, my gosh, Cameron is definitely figuring himself out as we go. But definitely Cameron is a wild, fanatic, happy, loving dude who, like I said, just wants to be able to discover and learn new things. I think many people that are now, following me and now seeing who I am, they'll find out quickly that I like to try everything, try new things, throw it all at the wall, and also try it and get it right, not just try it, just to do it.
Sure.
And I've done, I'm 25 right now. I've done a lot of work in the past that had nothing to do with entertainment, a lot of sales work, a lot of jobs, and a lot of, managers telling you what to do. And dude, I feel like, it sounds so crazy, but I feel like a free man, someone who's just wanting to like, just like, I feel like I'm like taking the bits of the earth, you know what I mean? Like, this didn't make no sense, but I feel like I'm taking, just discovering and finding new ways to be myself in a way.
Okay.
And I think this is just like just an avenue of it. and who people that are discovering right now, and you'll find out who I am as time goes on, I guess.
Do you call yourself a TikToker yet?
I just put that in my bio, like just
Oh,
today.
you have TikToker in your bio now.
I now have TikTok in my bio. I just
Now
put
that
it
you're
in
getting shared by like, verified accounts, that kind of like brings you into the TikToker thing, the realm.
the TikTok world, and like in like the music. I'm starting to understand the concepts now. I'm starting to understand it. That's the problem, and I'm getting too excited, and that's the issue. And but yeah, I would say I don't know. Wouldn't call myself a TikToker just yet, but I'm
Would
just
you live? Would you live in the hype house?
no, no.
You wouldn't?
Oh my god, no. That would stress me out way too much, dude. Like I would probably want to punch everyone in the face. Like
You couldn't do it.
no. And if the opportunity came up, and whoever's listening right now, maybe you'll hear it late in the back end. But I'm sorry, but like, nah.
See, what I hope you become is I hope you become one of like the biggest TikTokers.
Yeah.
And then I have this soundbite forever.
I know,
And
right?
like the worst, so you're the worst hypocrite ever. Like you won't even like speak to me anymore. You're like, if you only speak in dance moves, because I think TikTok might actually end up becoming like a form of like sign language.
It's funny you say that, and I was talking to my buddy about that, and I think TikTok is the new memes. TikTok is literally like if you think about the transition from memes, you started from like a drawing, of a feeling, and it moved into a picture of like a movie clip or something, and it put a word over it, and it turned into videos of a clip of something, and then now it's like I feel like it's just the format of like the sounds and the dances are the memes now.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Because like, yeah, like I feel like memeing started by what's that New York like magazine that would always come out with like those political memes, and like
The
that was like
political memes.
that was the only thing that would trend within like 10. It's been going on for like 60 years, I feel
yeah.
like.
Was it the
But
New Yorker?
I think it's the New Yorker, right?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
the New Yorker is like from my very lack of understanding of this whole process of where memeing began, I think the New Yorker's been doing memes for like 100 years.
Yeah, totally.
And now it finally hits like another level where you have idiots actually starting to build memes.
Yeah.
And so that you have nothing to say anymore. So I'm just going to like, watch my belly button.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And those are the TikToks are the best when you're not even saying nothing. And here, like I said, I'm probably gonna talk crap to myself in the future. But
yeah, because we'll be TikToking.
I know.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, yeah, that's just really stupid. I really thought this was a way. Yeah.
I hope there's a day where I tell you like, yo, bro, like that TikTok that you sent was just it looks stupid.
Yeah.
And then you were like, dude, there was actually like a lot of meaning behind that. Like, fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
Like that meant a lot to me. Like I thought about that. I thought that TikTok changed the world.
Yeah. You didn't understand the dances when I moved my hand this way that I was talking about indigenous animals, LJ.
Like that dance was intended to end racism.
Yeah, exactly.
And it had that legs, but you cut it down. It's like,
and you criticized it. How dare you?
Unbelievable.
Cancel.
But yeah. I don't know. That's TikToking to me. I love the fact that we live in a world though. Like people criticize TikTokers. I think they're some of the smartest people on the planet, not because they have the like most intelligence that like should aspire to be a scientist or a president, but when it comes to like what money means and how to be able to make it in seemingly a pretty easy and fun, enjoyable way.
Yeah.
What else is like? I don't think you can be like an accountant who hates life and grinds 80 hours a week and look at a TikToker and say, you're an idiot.
No.
Because there's some TikTokers making a lot of money and they're not putting up with the bullshit that you put up with in life.
Yeah. They're really not. And by the way, this is a whole nother ballgame. But yeah, these TikTokers, I truly, true story. I met some of the TikTokers obviously, and like, these guys are it's all a business really. It's all a business to them. They're not the ones that are like so engulfed into like the actual dance or the actual views that they're getting, or I mean there's a certain level of some people take it as like for fun, and some people take it for business. And the people that are taking for business, you can tell they take it very seriously.
Well, it's a
And
gold rush. It's
it
just a money
totally,
grab. Or what I like to call a real estate grab. Like I
yeah,
think a lot of people are well aware that like different things, like for example, like
yeah,
Vine came and went, but like
mhm,
Vine is the reason that Logan Paul gets to live the life that he gets to live right now. Like he
exactly,
came up on Vine, and so he grabbed up a bunch of like social real estate on that space, and then it can walk into YouTube, and now it walks into Instagram, and now it lives on pay-per-view television, right? Like where
yeah,
people are paying, I don't know what the Mayweather fight's going to be, but $60 to $70 to watch you fight for like maybe like 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. Like,
yep,
so when it comes to really like just the media grab or the gold rush of things, I go like, yo, these
yeah.
kids are not the least intelligent people around.
No, no, it looks that way from the outside if you're not thinking about what they're actually doing. And you know, I was talking to a buddy of mine about this, and I was realizing, you know, when corporate brands start to get on these social media accounts like American Eagle or Aeropostale or whatever these
Mm-hmm.
things, these companies that start advertising having their own channel and advertising their platform on these social networks, that's when you know this thing is pretty damn legit because you know like YouTube, like Vine and things like Twitter, these things of that nature. It's how it's going to end up being is the highest rated accounts or highest followers accounts or whatever. It's always gonna reach up, and the people, the companies that are going to pay the highest, you know, pay the highest TikToker. The companies, you know, they're going to send their ad revenue to them. It people that are just starting off TikTok is going to have a harder time climbing that ladder. This is weird, like almost pyramid, if you will, that like happens on all social media accounts when you're trying to get famous on there, if you will.
Yeah.
It's like you know, it's like it kind of get on the mountain as fast as you can for the people that want to do that, but and so and then like you said, so you can take your name, become famous, take your name, and move on to something else. If TikTok crashes tomorrow, there's literally a similar app called Byte that does the exact same thing. Everyone's just gonna move over to Byte and do the exact same thing.
Right. Well, and like it's interesting how quickly like Instagram went from like this heavily filtered photo
Mm,
to like now I watch like hour-long episodes of stuff on Instagram.
yeah.
You know, so like how quickly like that transitioned, like where, you know, you can swipe up or even on like IGTV, you can watch an hour-long thing.
Yep.
And a lot of my viewership happens on that. So to discount some of this stuff, and one, you have to realize that some of the stuff will just get deleted off of the face of the earth and we won't remember it again, like MySpace.
Yeah.
But then some stuff grows into like other things.
Yeah.
So like TikTok might serve a purpose to be able, maybe they like sign the best music deals, so the only time you can really listen to music and have a video on at the same time is through TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Podcasts will be on TikTok then, you
Yeah.
know, for you could
Clips,
review
yeah.
music on there or something. Like you
Mm-hmm.
never know where things evolve. So to not want to be able to not want, if you are fighting for those eyeballs or you want to be in the space of like being a person that gets to, you know, be an entertainer, be a comedian, have an opinion on those types of airwaves, like you got to be grabbing that real estate while it comes.
Yeah. You grab it, and as soon as possible, which is kind of, if you really think about the whole big picture of it, it's kind of crazy, to be frank. But it's kind of the world we live in now. Like, I was very opposed. I'm telling you, I was very opposed to TikTok for a while, and especially after the whole China ownership and taking your data nonsense stuff.
Oh, they're
That was
taking our data. Yeah.
They're 100% are, that was a big factor for me taking the app off and everything. Like I was saying, like I can see where it goes and how it can help you, like help your, basically, if you, it depends on how you're aiming at, but if you want to grow a personal brand, that's an easy way to up that game up, attract followers to your other accounts, and you know,
Sure.
grow your brand however you see so fit. So it's really interesting, and it's not hard at all because it's literally easier than YouTube, you know, when you're just dancing and or copying someone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting, I would say. Hmm.
It's wild.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it took, you know, these social networks, man. I don't know, but what I know one thing is like one thing that's probably gonna come up soon, I wouldn't doubt it, is like what, especially with Twitter, is sports. Like sports rules Twitter when sports comes on. Not necessarily Instagram, but like for instance, like whenever any event goes on, like everyone's talking about like that event on Twitter.
Sure.
And
Yeah, it's easier to like if I'm like instead of just waiting for Google to update stuff, we wait on Twitter because you're
right,
getting that instantaneously of did the Vikings just score or how are the Rams doing or
yeah,
is that player actually hurt or did that shot actually go in? You're going to
yeah,
know through
yeah.
Twitter way before you would ever know on a Google update.
Yeah, that knockout or whatever, or especially like when it's blocked and you can't see something like someone got knocked out and you can't tell because it's all blocked all over the internet because copyright rules. But you can see it on places like Twitter, Instagram, or things of that nature. But anyway, speaking of sports, I know you just mentioned your Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, all day.
How
Skull.
how they doing? How they doing, by the way?
Look, Minnesota Vikings right now are fine. We
Fine.
so they we kind of suck, but we're kind of great. We have the ability to close this gap. Right now, I want to say we're 6-6. We're sitting like halfway, and due to new rules, there's like an extra wild card spot. So there's like 3 wild card spots instead of 2. Because of that third, we actually have a chance.
And
So we're going to be that team that like gets into the playoffs and then gets our ass kicked.
like slides up in there, yeah, like you guys are like the Portland Trailblazers of football. Yeah, so what division are you guys? NFC or AFC? And
We're NFC North.
NFC North. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are with who are you
We
guys
got
with?
the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears in our division.
Bears. Okay.
So the Packers have really, throughout my life, have dominated our division. And so most of the time that the Vikings are trying to get into the playoffs, it's through these wild card spots. And we're always competing against like the Bears or like now it's the Bucks and the Cardinals this year. Or like the Seattle Seahawks are always like kind of in that weird little mix with us. Yeah.
Yeah, Seattle Seahawks. To be frank, I predicted Seattle Seahawks to win this year's Super Bowl. I'm not even kidding.
Because are you just a Russell Wilson fan or what?
No, I'm literally a Steelers fan. I just think that I think, and I was a Patriots fan before this, but I will never forget like where they all was it 2014, 15, 16 maybe 16. Where they almost beat the Patriots by like the 1 yard at the 1 yard line, and then Russell Wilson threw it and got the interception. And I feel like they are extremely hungry ever since then. They have the same coach, have the same quarterback, and they've been trying to come back and win this crap since, and they're doing really good this year.
There's always this weird little thing though when it comes to like great quarterbacks and especially young quarterbacks that are exciting. They run and they pass. Yeah, there's these weird waves of everybody thinking that like they are like the second coming of Jesus and that nobody could ever beat them. So right now it's Mahomes is that like everyone's like, dude, Mahomes is the best quarterback ever. And then like Lamar Jackson was, but now Lamar Jackson is kind of struggling a little bit. So everybody's like Lamar Jackson sucks. And it's got to be weird to be on those slides. Like Russell Wilson was one of those quarterbacks where everybody's like, this guy's the best quarterback. Even Ben Roethlisberger had that kind of star power right away because I think he won the Super Bowl his second year. Yeah. And so we just love new. And so I always kind of empathize for these guys like a Russell Wilson who was like always looked at as like the best quarterback ever for like 3 years. And then these new guys come up, but he's actually still holds it down.
He's still holds it down.
Yeah.
He's an incredible arm. He's dating Sierra. I mean, yeah, he has an incredible arm. I was going to make a joke there, but yeah, he's great. And I don't know, man. I think their team in general like has been very solid for the past few years. Other than like I think it was 2 years ago, they had like a kerfunkel, whatever you want to call it. What was that word? Kerfunkel, whatever. Anyway,
kerfunkel. I've never heard kerfunkel, but I like it.
Like a shit show, basically.
Well, yeah, because what ended up happening is they had this defense that everybody loved, right? So it was the Legion of Boom.
That's right.
They had just all of these guys. They had like Earl Thomas, and then they had Richard Sherman, and they had this kind of like really smart group of defensive guys, but they were not only smart, they loved to like thump people. Like, and Cam Chancellor was also one of those guys. Yeah. So they just fuck people up in the defensive secondary. They were kind of like bigger, taller. They set a new tone that like cornerbacks could be like 6'1" and still be agile enough to keep up with wide receivers. And
Right.
so now you have like young guys in high school because of what really Seattle did there. Like a 6'1" guy isn't necessarily going to just play on the offensive side of the ball. He kind of likes being like a big defender, a huge safety. And that's changed NFL for, I think, the good, where that team was just thumping people. But when that happens, egos get crazy. I think Richard Sherman probably has the largest ego in the freaking league.
Yeah.
And that obviously that's going to blow up at some point. And
Yeah. It totally, with guys just in general, it's always going to blow up at some point. Because
yeah, like when this show gets hot, like our egos are going to be flaring up, and the $100 million deals, like we're going to be at each other's throat.
We would probably be chill, but I'm sure it's there would be I don't know, we'll probably be chill. But yeah, I get the point. It's like because tensions are hot. Money is you want to make sure you have everything in order. And then the locker room of ego, that combined with everything. And then, I feel like there's definitely a way to how that can go right.
Well, that's some of the fun of sports too, is like it's this super masculinity that like allows great sports stars to be that in the male sports, right? Like it's the kind of encompassing of what that identifies as. I don't even like, I get it that everyone wants to call like that. They don't want to even identify that as masculinity anymore because they think it takes away from the femininity, but like dudes can be masculine and feminine at the same time. But like sports are kind of a representation of the biggest form of that, right? It's big, it's fast, it's angry, it's competitive,
especially football.
And especially football. And I kind of love, that's part of being a super fan, is watching these teams go from like these young novice guys coming into their own, getting some cash, getting some fans, getting that power, and like seeing how that works. Like you always want it to work out, but like there's also crash and burn too. And sadly, as a fan, sometimes you like the crash and burn's exciting as well.
It's interesting.
It's messed up.
Yeah. I mean,
but our eyeballs are on it,
right? Dude, I was one of the biggest fans of Antonio Brown for like the longest time, and I was like, this dude is the best receiver I've ever seen. And then, dude, that hit by the dude from the Bengals literally changed this man's life. Never been the same since. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah, I think we all watched his CTE happen in one shot.
Yeah, one shot, and then ever since then, past that, you can see you see it like the videos of him with his it's a whole shit show, And I'm like,
do you think when like $100 million hits you in the face in your bank account, though, there's also a different form of CTE that happens?
Dude, this was crazy about
money CTE, bro.
The crazy thing about Antonio Brown, though, he was supposed to receive like $100 million, and like he had to wait until like the Tuesday, and then like got cut by the team like the Saturday before. Like that was crazy to me.
Did you see when he was throwing like gummy bears at the cops?
Yeah.
I mean, and I love watching a guy get all wild, but what happens is like if you beat your kids or beat your wife,
no.
Sorry. And people say, but is there another but? I go, no. Like Michael Vick, don't give a shit. Sorry. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't.
Well, it's like
he didn't lose my respect. Like, I don't think you should do that. It doesn't look good. Yeah. Like, it doesn't work. Like, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But like, does that make me not wear your jersey? No. Like, and I'm a dog lover. Don't get me wrong.
He was a good quarterback. He was damn good. I mean, number 7, good colors. No, Michael Vick, hey, all respect to the man. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, just don't beat your wife or your kids. That's
just, if you don't beat your wife or your kids, I'm pretty cool with it.
Yeah.
And then, Adrian Peterson I still actually have a little respect for Adrian Peterson, but it got a little bit weird because he switched his kid. But also one of his thoughts was like, yo, but bro, I'm a Hall of Fame running back and I got switched as a kid and that made me great. So like, I get it how sometimes like, yo, like if that was built into like who you were as and you think that was fundamental to your character, I get how you would also try to pass that off to your kid.
Right.
I don't think you should hit your kid because I don't really think that works. But
Yeah.
I understand. But I also I got like spanked maybe twice as a child.
Yeah.
But if you think that like that type of parenting like was fundamental to your success, I kind of understand how you pass it on to your child. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the reality is, right? Like we kind of passed a lot of stuff down to our kids, and including that, right? And yeah, I mean, because I feel like, dude, there's something to deal with. I don't know what, but like something in Black culture where like beating your kids like is talked about as like they almost want a trophy or something. Like you should hear, or like when I was younger, at least my mom would talk about like beating me in front of other adults, like as if like she's like, yeah, like I beat my motherfucking kid's ass if he
But
racks up.
that dude, but the thing is what white culture doesn't be honest about is we are one generation removed from that same conversation.
Totally, y'all
So
did.
like, you know
Y'all
what I
did
mean? So like our parent whooped the fuck out of their kids.
with the accent and
Belts,
everything.
switches, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But there was kind of this like social reckoning where people were like, that
Yeah,
maybe let's chill.
yeah,
We got to chill. And so I think like I sometimes hate that about what white culture does is like they have really, and this is human. I'm only ripping on white culture, but this is a human condition,
yeah.
right? It's once you know that 2 + 2 = 4,
Mhm.
you like to then you could have learned it yesterday.
Yeah.
And the next person time, if you heard someone say 2 + 2 = 5, you like to go run up and go, it equals 4. You
Yeah.
should know that. You
Yeah.
should know that. It's like, you don't like to tell everybody you just learned that yesterday. You just like to pass that information on as like you freaking knew it. And we do this politically all the time.
Totally.
A news article will come out on Monday, and if you haven't totally read up on it by Friday, you'll have a friend that be like, man, you're a fucking idiot. You didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And so what happened, I think there was that social reckoning with like, let's not beat our kids anymore. And I think that was collectively really, it kind of sunk in. But
Mhm.
then we turn around, and I don't think that conversation was really passed down to, I don't think white people were talking to black people about it. And
No.
then they immediately just start turning around and like putting people in jail for it and
Yeah.
being like, you're a fucking idiot. You
How
don't
dare
care
you?
about your kids. Like, how could you do that? It's like, dude, let's be honest. We all just stopped.
Yeah. We all just did that. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on. I hate when people do that. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah. 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 That totally happens in every part of like it's almost like it's kind of like it's a little bit of blame culture in a way, a little bit of that, because like especially with people, going out of their way to, like we talked about this on a previous talk before, going out of the way to like, you know, cancel someone or get mad at someone for doing something, a celebrity of doing something, knowing full and damn well you beat your dogs too. you know so
Yeah.
so it's like this culture of like this blame, and how could you do that, but secretly I low-key do it too, but like or I used to do it, I just found out, like you just said, it's pretty insane, you know um
But I
and
like holding our culture to a higher standard. Like
yeah,
I like looking up to people, but
yeah,
we have to stop idolizing people. Like I look up to you as a person, Cam, but like I'm not going to idolize you. So like if you have failures, I can't then demonize you.
right,
Like we love living on this spectrum of you're either an idol or like a demon, and there's no like
yeah,
personhood in the middle
right,
where it's like, dude, I'm a freaking human, bro. Like
cool.
I'm not a devil, I'm not a god. I'm like, dude, I'm just in the middle, and I'm working it out daily, and
Trying to figure it out.
like stop holding me to all this bullshit. But I also would want the best for my friends, and I want the best for like a person who's like my pastor or like my president. Like I think we should hold people to a standard
Yeah,
and hope for better. But
yeah.
like to always just be like, this person's the worst of all time. It's like, well, no,
Oh
they're
yeah.
probably just a normal person doing normal shit.
Yeah, yeah. Those stories about the pastors. Great pastor. Oh my God, I love him to death. He loves Jesus. Da, 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 da. Makes one mistake, boom, he's the worst person. The demon, the devil got him. Blah 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 blah. And it's come on now. Like the dude made a mistake, or whatever. I mean, even how bad of a mistake it might be, like it's actually not that serious because especially when a pastor makes a mistake, it's usually like, oh, he just fuck someone or something, you know.
Right. Well,
And
because
it's
like there's, I mean, we all do it too. Like we see that Hillsong pastor from New York that
yeah,
just got like canceled because he was having an affair.
yeah,
Look, young guy, seemingly young guy, like obviously got in the spotlight. I do believe in like spiritual warfare in the sense that like I think when you really get put on a plateau, I think a lot of energy starts coming at you and
totally,
you have to deal with shit on a different level.
totally, you do,
But
yeah,
we all do the same thing. Whenever we hear, and maybe girls don't do this, but like guys do, like you hear like oh, this guy was cheating on you. You Google who was the girl, and then you evaluate whether it was wrong. You're
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, not worth it. Fuck
Yeah,
him.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But if she's hot, you go, bad mistake.
yeah, yeah,
Bad
yeah.
mistake, but
Dude, I mean, dude, we all forgave Kevin Hart because we're like, yeah, that girl seems like a hoe, and she
did you
totally.
see his special though? That man doesn't even want forgiveness.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care.
Dude, I couldn't believe how much he was ragging on his wife at his special.
I didn't see his newest special. I did
Dude,
not
and
see his new special.
so his new special's in his home.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
And
right.
this is me almost being a little bit of a hypocrite because I
Right,
was just talking about like how we should give people a break.
right.
But the funny thing about Kevin Hart's thing is that Kevin Hart is ragging on his wife at his special, being like, why is she so concerned that I would cheat after he cheated? So it's like, I don't know if it was supposed to be like dark comedy, like, but he didn't really like play it as a punchline like that. All he was is like, yeah, man, women are crazy. Every time I walk out the door, she thinks I'm fucking something. And it's like, well, for a second you were. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
But I
yeah.
love Kevin Hart.
No, I love Kevin Hart too. It's just real interesting, you know. But I mean, like, but yeah, like it comes at you fast, it comes at you hard. You know what I mean? It depends on how you deal with it. And I'm realizing like all from the camera because it's right next to me. Anyway, that's how you deal with it. But it's totally gonna come. It's totally gonna come. I'm like prepping myself for that shit to come to me. You know, so like I gotta. Well, can't believe it. I got to get my bookmarks in order, if you will. So there's like a multi-level joke there, but you just got to get your stuff in order because like you never know when like someone's gonna come at you with some nonsense. People are gonna come at you because they're like, "What? Isn't it crazy how like how this was crazy to me when a girl when a girl sees a guy who has a girlfriend, she likes him more. That's just
It's so intriguing
what?
having like an attractive girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And because that levels you up.
That's what I'm saying. You're probably getting crap too.
It levels you up. It makes you more intriguing. For women are weird like that. Cause like when I hear that like an attractive girl has a boyfriend, I am absolutely more like, oh, well, she's got a boyfriend, like respect.
Yeah.
Like you're not like DMing some girl who's got like a boyfriend if you're a
No,
single guy. You're not doing that. Like you might be friends with her but you would be waiting for your shot.
Right.
And when she posts that I'm single,
I'm sorry, I'm so sad.
Boom. Right. But that's what's so funny is like, so when girls are in a relationship and it breaks off, it heats up like fast.
Yeah.
Like boom. Every guy is going to take their 3-week chance and be like, dude, she's probably going to be talking to a guy within the next like 2 or 3 weeks.
Totally.
I'm going to see if I'm going to present myself. And I actually think that's a respectable thing. I don't think it's a nasty thing. I think it's just a human nature.
Yeah, it kind of is what it is.
Some dudes do it nasty, but I think that's just the way that it is.
Right.
But then like for a guy, it's weird because like once a girl knows that you've been with another girl for like a longer period of time, then you keep on like your level builds.
Yeah.
It's so weird, bro.
It's so weird.
And like that's what girls are freaking nasty to other girls, man.
Nasty. And it's like I've seen some weird things, especially on social media, because what happens is social media will share probably girls have exposed themselves on social media, you know, and like what they do, like the tricks that they do and the weird little things. And because they'll make little videos. They're like, I cheated on my boyfriend, and that's what anyway, so these things. I think there's also something where like after you break up, if you're the guy and you break up with this hot girl or whatever, there's a level of which like girls actually disengage. You leveled up, but like girls actually disengage.
No, when you break up, dude, you're ice cold.
Yeah, they
You're not like, no one's like hitting you up.
no
Guys are frozen after breakups generally.
yeah.
Like you could downgrade, like there's downgrades available,
The downgrades are totally available, totally.
but like the same playing field, it's not there anymore.
No, it's
so guys are idiots when they like when you have something special to think that you could like you'll go like break it off and like I'm a level of like, dude,
no,
stop, man.
You just jumped off the cliff. You totally just jumped off the cliff. It's totally different for guys and girls. Like that's what it is. What I'm trying to figure out, like there's so many other things that are different from guys and girls too. Like oh my god, like I mean, perception of themselves and all this stuff. But I always think too, what do you what comes to mind when like a girl says, she gets all ready, and then you're like, who are you getting ready for? You know what I mean? Like if you're
like when you're in a relationship.
Yeah, when you're in a relationship, and she's like your girl's like maybe like in real like pretty, and you're like, what's happening? Like is this? Does something ever comes into your mind? Where it's like, okay,
no, because like, dude, girls just like getting ready. Like it's part of the culture of, maybe it's an American culture thing, maybe it's just a girl culture thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Girls like getting dressed up and having some fun. Yeah. And like, because obviously like men aren't pretty, girls are pretty.
Yeah.
Like I get it that maybe some men are pretty, but like more than likely women are the pretty beings on earth. That's just how it works. It's awesome. I love it as a dude.
Me too. It's great.
And so like girls like getting pretty, they like getting dressed up, to me it seems as though that part of the night is almost as important as the night, like getting like totally dressed up and like finding the right dress and the shoes and like and pairing it well for the event,
right?
And that is that's as much as important as the whole night. I think it's just a part of the event,
right?
I don't know.
That it's interesting because like I was I mean, maybe I have like I'm getting into my little feelings brain, because like when I have my girl and she's like don't get me wrong, I love when my girl gets ready. Like I don't want her to not get ready, my god, but there's a certain level of like, all right, like I know what you look like up and down, like maybe chill out, good going on.
No, crazy. I honestly think men need to change the position on this. Even when you're not with her, like let's say she's going out with her girls alone. Yeah. She's also gonna get super dolled up. Right. Dudes gotta drop like whatever, like fear or ego or like jealousy that they think is coming out, dude. It's not about you. I guarantee it. And I'm also a little bit baffled when you have an attractive girlfriend, that guys are baffled or mad when other guys hit on them. It's like, what do you expect? Right. Like, do you want the type of girlfriend that doesn't get hit on?
Yeah, I mean,
like, go find that and be happy with that. Right. Or like realize that you have a girlfriend that is gorgeous and like appealing to other people. And like, as long as it's not done too disrespectfully, like, dude, what do you expect? Like, she's a pretty girl. Like,
yeah, no, totally.
Guys are going to ask for numbers potentially. They're going to be like, what's up? Like, but then I guess maybe if you don't have trust in your girlfriend, I get that. But like, I ultimately I'm like, I have full trust here. Like, I'm comfortable with this setting.
Right. I wanted to ask you this. Who do you think is more loyal, men or women?
Ooh, it's a human condition. So I don't think there's a choice in that. Like, I know both. I know loyal men, loyal women, disloyal men. Yeah. It's too hard to call. I do know that I think because of certain positions, I think in like certain weird societal things in life, the way that structure works, where like if men have stability, they become more of value. Yeah. So like if you have like a dope house or like a good car or like a stable job, regardless of like your appearance, and sometimes regardless of how you treat a lady, there's a certain section of women that find that really appealing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that a man wouldn't find that appealing in a woman, but that's just not something we seek after. Like
No.
all of my friends, successful or not, like as long as a girl is like fun, loving, and is enjoyable to be around and attractive, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They don't care if she's a CEO or a bartender.
Yeah.
Now, in a weird way, they would rather have her be a bartender over a CEO for one reason. The amount of time that she has available to be a part of your schedule too.
I thought you were going to say the guy's ego doesn't want her to be like above.
It's not, I don't actually find it to be as much of ego as it about time. And so the guy's ego is more about, can you come over when I call?
Yeah.
And then do you call me to come over?
Yeah.
Like if you don't have time, that's like, these are my love languages, but like, that's just unappealing. So regardless of your position in life, it's just an unappealing trait. But a lot of men like women with time on their hands available for that. So if you are a CEO guy and you have a bunch of money, you would rather have a girl that's a bartender because you're like, she's got time.
Right. Totally.
And we all know that when it comes to like what really feeds a good relationship, it's about, can you talk politics with me? Can you talk religion with me? Do you talk about life? Do you meet on the same level of like, do we care about how many kids we're going to have?
Right.
You can have just as valuable of a conversation with somebody that's a CEO and someone with a bartender. Like that stuff that type of intelligence doesn't come with monetary gain all the time.
Right.
Maybe that has a little bit to do with the disadvantage that women currently have in the workforce. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bigger structural conversation, but like I find there's great people in great places, all places, when it comes to when a guy, when he's single. So it's like, that doesn't matter. But like, this is why I think that men cheat more often than women, is that there's a lot of men that are unattractive, have great jobs, and they find a girl that's beautiful, fun, smart, intelligent, and she has all those factors. He then gets leveled up and he doesn't even realize that he's an idiot. He's got something great, bro. And then you get these losers that don't realize that like they have something great on their hands. They don't understand the positivity in that. And they think that they get this ego about them. It's like, dude, what are you chasing?
Yeah.
You're chasing something just like bogus.
Yeah. Chasing something real thin, you know?
So I think that's when you guys see those guys like make just really stupid decisions where they're like, and they usually cheat down.
Yeah. It's hard. They don't really cheat up. It's kind of hard. It's difficult. Or it's not going to last. One of the two.
Yeah. I've never seen one of my friends cheat up. I've always seen my friends cheat down, and I don't understand the concept. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this in your life? It's creating this like chaos, and you don't even want that.
Right.
I don't know. It's a self-serving, like narcissistic, like ego type of drive, I think, that makes people cheat, and then even worse, cheat down.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, cheating down is just insane. I feel like I agree with you. I feel like men. I feel like
you want to answer the cheating down? Yeah. Okay. So girlfriend's roommate's in the room, and she's got an answer about cheating down.
Okay.
If you're cheating down, then you don't feel like you're cheating and then usually you're cheating down, they want sex, they don't care.
Okay. Cheating down, you don't feel like you're cheating, and they just want sex, so they don't really care.
So they have sex, so they'll do it with you. So if you're cheating down with somebody overweight or they're unconfident, and all of a sudden somebody wants you, you're going to give it. But also, I think in males and females, if you're cheating down, you're not really.
But I couldn't imagine a female cheating down.
That's hard. That's
so you've seen that before. You've seen okay. Interesting. I couldn't imagine a female cheating down.
Yeah, that sounds hard to do.
It just goes both ways.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Is she cheating down because of the circumstances of her relationship? Like she's missing something? Or is she cheating down because of what?
It could be.
Yeah, okay.
Or it's just, okay, they get in a fight, she goes
Yeah.
Whatever, says all the right things, she's gonna cheat down.
Okay.
And it goes. Honestly, it goes both ways. I'm not gonna say.
She's saying it's going both ways, like
Both ways.
in men and women, with the whole like cheating down, the kind of stroking your ego a little bit, and like feeling that you're not getting what you're supposed to get at home, so you just cheat down. And like what's funny is usually when people are cheating, they're not getting something in the relationship. They're forgetting about the encompassing elements that the relationship is probably providing. And they're just thinking about this one sliver that then this one person provides them. And it's like, dude, like you forgot about the whole gamut.
Yeah.
I just think it's just a, is it an ego thing? Could it be, if I cheat with somebody like this, it's really not going to mean anything because I'm who I'm with.
Yeah, I don't know the psychology of a guy cheating, of how that all plays out. Especially if you're cheating down.
I feel like I can answer that.
I had a lover.
Okay. She's had a lover.
Okay. I go to his office, seen pictures of his girlfriend.
Seen pictures of his girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
I was picture me another 40, 50 pounds.
Okay.
He cheated with me all the time.
No way.
Way bigger than his girlfriend. His girlfriend was thick.
But bigger isn't necessarily cheating down, though.
He was cheating down.
What was appealing to that for you?
Me, because I was missing something. I was at the end of my marriage.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense.
He was good looking, my age. Wanted to,
And so when she was in a relationship where she felt like she was the person where the guy was cheating down with her.
Okay.
That was just in a moment where she's like, well, I just have this, like, potentially like this void in my life that I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
And then he's probably filling that same void where this is the fun thing in my life.
But I wasn't
exciting.
I've seen pictures.
Oh.
Of women. He even told me, he goes, oh, you can get bigger. This man's a very good looking man. So he just liked,
You think he liked the fact that you had no strings attached and that you were just fun without commitment.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I would go, we would have all the sex, but I'd go and see, I just go, why? I ask him, why?
And that curiosity was probably one of the reasons that he was even appealing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But, I would never do it again.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing in life. Like, this whole cheating element is just a waste of time. Like, how do people have that much time and energy in their life?
Yeah.
To focus on that. I don't know. I get the one-off thing. I get like the random, like, whoops.
Yep.
But like the active cheater, like I text and I go around and I hide.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Separate phones. Like how are successful men like able to actively cheat for like a 6-month period of time, continue on a marriage, have children, and then also like have a side lover and like a business?
That's crazy.
Like how, dude, I guess I'm too tired.
Yeah, no, it's beyond me on how that happens, and beyond me on how people have even 2 separate lives. Have you heard of those stories? Like that's
well, she was talking about the 2 phones, like
I'll be frank. Like there's one time, I'm telling you, I probably shouldn't say this on camera. Whatever, it is what it is. I cheated once, and this one girl, and the reason why, I mean, in my mind, I had a good reason. I think this is what it came down to, and a couple of reasons. Number one is the girl wasn't giving me anything I wanted, like at all, and to the fact that like when I asked, it was like literally laughed at. That part was like disgusting to me.
Yeah.
And then I was basically trying to make the relationship work, and trying every way I could, before I ever ended up doing that, and it just never worked. And I think we basically, I knew I was gonna break up with her. I knew we were until end of a relationship, and then
I was over it.
Yeah, I was over it, and I'm talking like you don't get nothing. I'm talking you don't get anything you asked for like 9 months. You're like, listen, like this is. So we're technically still in a relationship, and I ended up, finding something I wanted, getting something I wanted in that moment, and it was exciting because it was exciting. It was in that moment, and I had that experience, and then and then it's so weird. To be frank, I was so angry at my actual girlfriend at the time because she was just so like not like she wasn't trying to give me what I wanted that I didn't even feel bad about it, which is crazy.
Yeah. Like I had a time in high school where like I like cheated on a girl, but it was like one of those things where like we had just started talking. We'd been in a relationship for a month, and to be maybe why I'm talking about some of this stuff is like it was that like I was a young kid and it was that first month in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I was dating like an attractive girl,
Yeah.
and I was getting a lot of that energy that we're talking about. And it was one of those like drunken dumb things where I'm just like one time, one off.
Yeah.
One of the dumbest decisions of my life, right? Like I was just like, why would I do that to myself? Like it's not even something that I wanted. And you're just like, that didn't help anybody.
It didn't help anybody.
You know, like you're just like, I feel like a garbage person.
Yeah, I don't even.
I did the whole thing where you tell the person, you're like, dude, I told the person I was dating at the time, I was like, I did this, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And we just continued on, but it is the biggest problem with that stuff. Even when like you're a young dumb kid in high school, and it's in such a seemingly less meaningful way, it's still very like scarring.
Yeah.
Right, because you're like, man, I'm a dirty person, man. Like I didn't think I could like go there. So like, I don't want to come on this with like being an absolute hypocrite, saying like I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah.
I'm saying it from the point where like I get how it happens.
Yeah.
But it's stupid that it happens like that.
Yeah.
I feel lucky that it happened in like a high school relationship.
Right.
With like out kids and families and stakes. But when you start to really look at relationships in the way, like now I'm like 33, like how is a 33-year-old guy cheating?
Yeah.
Like I get how like 16-year-old LJ a month in a relationship cheats.
Right.
What are these 30-year-olds doing, man?
No. That ain't it.
I hope I'm never a hypocrite about that. Like that, I don't want to be that guy.
No. Yeah, and I know guys that are a little older than you that are have wives and kids and are going out doing their thing, you know, like cheating and stuff, and it's interesting. I think what it comes down to as well, because there's more I start to think about it. It basically kind of depends on the situation, right? And like, but at the same time, it's like I'm trying to fill in the gaps on like my someone that I know and what like he may be thinking, right?
Okay.
And I'm trying to think like, okay, say your girl, your wife, or whatever, isn't giving you what you want, or she's always pissing you off or something. You're trying to like get back at her, but not get back with her because you have kids, or you know what I mean. You're not gonna you get back at her, but you're not gonna tell her because you have kids and you have her and whatever, or it's really interesting. But I think there's a point, because maybe because of my experience, I think there's a point of it of like if you feel like you're not getting what you want, like somehow you're gonna go and get it. But that's something important. That's something important to a relationship too. I feel like because it's something I really want to tell my next girlfriend. I'm like, girl, listen, it's important that I give you what you want, or you will go find it somewhere else.
Well, and the thing is like a lot of people look at it as like an alpha move.
Yeah.
It's a beta move. It's a weak move. It doesn't, you're not like a strong, badass guy who like has a girl. Dude, you're a weak man who does that. That's a beta move. And so I get that all humans can get caught in weakness. Dude, we're all human. Like shit happens. And so like, not like, I don't think that you're like an idiot for doing it all the time. I just think it's an idiot's decision.
Right.
So that's a dumb decision. That doesn't mean you're like the worst person ever for all time. But it's like that. All I'm saying is it's not going to serve you well.
No, it's not going to serve you well. It's not going to serve you well in the long run. And you have that guilt. You have that shit feeling. And it's interesting because I also know people who have cheated, moved on from cheating, and now they just love their wife. They still never told her.
That's a lot to hold on to.
That's a lot to hold on to, and maybe I don't know. Eventually, if anything ever comes out or whatever, But that's interesting. That's interesting too.
They just bit the bullet and just
moved on.
Interesting move, man.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's in a weird way. That's alpha as heck. How could you live with that? I'm like I'm a weaker man than that.
that's tough in the chest, man. That's like for me, that's like slam in the chest that
Because
keeps
that would
things
always pinch a
off
little
out.
bit.
You know?
That would always pinch a little bit. You would
Yeah.
think.
You like because it'll pinch, especially when you tell your girl, look her in the eye, you're like, I would always love you. I would never do anything to hurt or harm you, girl. You know? That's when it hurts. When you're saying that bullshit
And thinking about just hitting cheeks.
yeah, like that's just crazy. But anyway, I mean that's beyond me. But in general, I think in general, for me, in my opinion, I think women cheat less. But I think when they do it, for me personally, at least, they do it in a way that's that cuts, like just like it hurts, and then or especially when they're like, yeah, fuck you, I cheated. You know, it's like this.
Yeah.
That they know how to hit you right in the strings, boy. Like that's
I do think you're probably right. Like it's more. I do think that women probably are more likely to sit in like the DMs in a relationship, probably, and like slowly bring that along. I'd like that emotional cheating.
Yeah, the emotional cheating. Yeah.
Where it's like, they're not like giving themselves up to this person, but they're tethering other people along while they're in a relationship, and keeping doors open. So if that relationship's gone, there's availability next.
Yep.
Girls, I mean, a lot of guys know like there's always a next if you're not careful.
Totally do that shit. Yeah. and that's maybe that's girls' sense of security in their brains. You know, I don't know, but that's the way.
Yeah, maybe.
They do themselves. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this anymore because it makes me feel a certain type of way. I've been cheated on once with this one girl I was talking to, and I was like 16 or whatever, and I was not happy, and I still don't forgive her to this day.
You can't let it go.
No, I can't. I mean, but I mean, I ended up hooking up with her after, but it's okay. I mean, I still wanted to hit them cheeks at the end of the day, but it's all good. So anyway,
we'll circle the back of that in 10 years.
Yeah, we'll circle that back out. So dude, okay. I know we're gonna get into this shit because.
Give me 1 second here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm coming back.
Just give us 1 second. LJ will be right back. Hello.
Do you think this is working with this app, or do we have reverb on it?
I'm sorry?
Do you think this is? Do we have some echo with the app, or no?
Yeah, no. I pulled my phone closer. Have you been hearing the echo the whole time?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Let's put my phone closer, and the echo's coming now.
All right. So what were you proposing here?
Oh God, what was I saying? Oh yes. So I knew you were gonna have a whole rant about this, but we're living in California, specifically in the LA area.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you a general question. How you feeling right now? What's going on in LA?
It's interesting because I am over the idea that someone bit a bat.
Oh, done.
I'm over it.
Done. Dude, that is this dumb.
Call my bullshit in 30 years when the FBI files open up, or whatever the CIA files, whatever opens up in 30 years.
Yeah.
I am very long on the fact that no one bit a bat. Like, I get that bats are eaten. I get that there's wet markets. I get that exists. I no longer believe that this started by someone biting a bat.
No, there's no way.
I'm just not there. And I am here to be proved wrong. I'm fine. Light up the comments, hit them heavy, call me an idiot.
Dude, I want to say this, man. there has to be, and I repeat, has to be more than one person that has been to bat in this world and has not caused a motherfucking global pandemic. um, yeah,
And
that's,
look,
that's all I'm saying.
I get it. Worst virus that we've experienced in our lifetime, that's real. Casualties, a true pandemic like we've never witnessed. The death toll is disturbing. It's disgusting, and it's devastating, dude. Like the amount of people that have passed away because of this thing, like it's a travesty. It is. It makes, if your heart doesn't hurt in this time, dude, you're come on, like wake up.
Yeah.
But I think this also comes with a little bit. But like
an ass, but.
But like, I'll wear a mask at grocery stores. I'm not like an anti-masker. I'm a big, like, I take a lot of tests. Yeah. I'm fine with like some of the social distancing stuff. But when it comes to like what's going on with isolating now, like outdoor dining can happen. And then the people that like are outside, like wearing masks, like at the beach, like go fuck yourself, dude. Like that, it's just, I get it that like there's so much fear and propaganda that's built on both sides of the aisles on this stuff that like it's just sending to our brain to make it feel like the other side started this. But like, it's difficult to, I'm okay with like wearing a mask all day, like sanitizing all day, getting virus checks and hanging out with people, as long as you're willing to also say to me, this might be all bullshit, right? Like, do we really think that this all works? Or like this isn't inevitable? Or like,
don't come out to me talking about, dude, like don't come up to me talking about, I swear it was the terrorist that ran the plane into the Twin Towers. Don't come up to me talking about the fucking terrorist took a fucking box cutter and crashed it in the motherfucking Pentagon. Don't come up and tell me. Just tell me 9/11 happened.
So we're 9/11 deniers now too.
Yeah, we're everything. But tell me,
I saw Tower 7.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen the video of Tower 7 going down
by itself. Like,
and I'm comfortable with the idea that like the jet fuel could have potentially took down the building. I get it.
Yeah.
But for them not to like arrest anybody else on the ground, it wasn't just the dudes in the air. There had to have been many people on the ground, insurgents, to make that happen. Yeah. And stop telling me that it was only brown people.
No.
There had to have been some white boys involved.
It was
you know what I mean? Like, there had to have been. We all know Antifa exists. There's enough fucking white people that hate America to be a part of 9/11 too.
Dude, to be, and then the fact, like, to be a part of that, to plan it out in the city, for it to be in New York City where you can be anonymous. No other city but New York City, but anyway. The fact that literally the day before, all of a sudden we're missing trillions of dollars, but gone.
And I think the building owner
happened to crash the plane exactly where all the money was supposed to be trying to be calculated.
And I like but then there is elements that where I like people like, well, I think it went all the way up to the White House. Dude, maybe it could have. I don't think it probably did in this particular incident, because like I have a hard time believing that a president could do that. I'm still that much of a purist. Sorry about it. But like George Bush's statements on it were like, dude, just so you know, we're threatened like this all the time. I don't think we want to know what could have happened in many other times in our history.
True.
I think we've missed a lot more bullets than we've taken.
Right.
Life in America has generally been very peaceful. We've never fought a war on our soil, even though shots were fired on our soil that day.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, how is that possible that that's happened? That safety net I think that we've had a lot of people that have protected us in a lot of ways. And I think a lot more people have tried that haven't gotten it done the way that those people got it done that day.
Right.
But don't tell me that it was just like 18 dudes who got some flight lessons that took down as much and did as much damage. If it was, dude, best terrorist of all time?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Literally. Yeah.
The OGs of terrorism.
Yes.
I guess I don't even have enough faith. I don't have enough faith that that was it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that it's an inside job. But even going forward, I mean, what happened afterwards, right? I mean, damn near maximum security at airports. Check, double check, triple check, everything. And targeting people. What do you call it?
The Patriot Act.
The Patriot Act. And they target, at airports, they target people that look like suspicious subjects just because an algorithm said so. Okay, so moving forward,
do you think it was an inside U.S. job? Like, do you think it infiltrated our government?
I would say it sounds like a very like a CIA or type of ordeal where they organized it and then maybe planted the people and then blamed them for it.
Do you think it went up to the top of do you think George Bush knew?
As time goes on, I'm starting to believe less of that because
But there was a time that you were like, dude, George Bush did this.
Yeah,
were you ever there?
George Bush totally did this shit. Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, you were like, dude, that was George Bush.
Yeah. But I'm also realizing but if you think about the president, do you think like Obama and Trump afterwards, they don't get they get the information, but they don't get I don't know. I feel like there's levels of government. Even at the president level, there's levels above him. There's levels above him that are very secret, that are more organized, but not necessarily one person. Does that make sense? And not necessarily above the president, but
we got a message.
Yeah, you can pull stuff. Oh, we did get a message. You can pull stuff outside of
The audio is echoey.
Oh, the audio is echoing.
Okay, I need to put my phone over here a little further away. Can you guys hear me now? Maybe it's still echoey?
I think it's echoey just the way that we're doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because of my the stereo plus.
We're doing. Figure out a different way to do this.
So that might be the issue. Let us know if it's still echoey right now. Yeah, let us know in the by sending us an audio message. But yeah, no.
What if I drop off and you just are on, and then you put me by the computer?
Because I can't go live by myself. I can only talk to a person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So freaking, I think these organizations like the secret organizations could be doing that, but that's beyond me. I don't know what these organizations are. I didn't go deep in the dark web to figure this information out.
That's why, when it comes so to bring it kind of back to coronavirus, and I'm gonna pass through the Newtown massacre on this kind of element. I am not the type of person that thinks the government creates a Newtown massacre with the little kids that got shot, the 22 kids that got shot. Where who made that conspiracy theory up? It was the crazy dude from Austin, Texas.
Alex Jones.
So I'm not the type of conspiracy theorist that goes, oh, Newtown was faked.
No.
But what I think happens is that, and so none of that type of conspiracy do I believe happens. But I do think that there's evil actors that make bad situations worse and more messy. Yeah. So when it comes to this coronavirus thing, I look at it on the same stage of remember when we were marching for George Floyd? Mm-hmm. And you started to see bricks being dropped off at different environments.
Yeah, that's dude. Oh my god.
And people in Philadelphia are the police are dropping off the bricks. I don't think police would drop off bricks, but do I think that bad people on either side of the aisle, Trump or Antifa, would drop off bricks? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know who it would be. I don't know if it's a hardcore Trumper or an Antifa person, but do I think that some people would drop off bricks? Yes, I do.
To cause more damage. I saw people drop off shit with my own eyes. I was like, dude, who the fuck are you?
So the same thing I think is happening a little bit with coronavirus. And this is a crazy conspiracy theory. I am a conspiracy theorist when it comes to this stuff. But I just think that like when things get messy, I think there's people that like to make it more messy.
Yeah.
And then we like to always blame normal people.
Mm-hmm.
So like Trumpers like to blame Black Lives Matter or
Protesters,
Antifa, and then Antifa and Black Lives Matter like to blame Trumpers, when maybe there's actually other people stirring the frickin' pot.
Yeah.
And for no reason, just to make it messier.
Right.
So like with coronavirus, we haven't really spoken about it like that. Like, what if people are kind of dropping off bricks at the coronavirus riot? You know what I mean? Like, what would that look like? I don't know exactly like what that would look like, but like,
I feel like that looks like a lot of misinformation, a lot of, you know, pointing blame at us people. I think that it looks like, you know, the technology is being created because of this. The fact that my Bluetooth keeps fucking, I can't turn my Bluetooth off on my iPhone from Control Center because it needs the Bluetooth tracking to figure out if someone has Corona near me. That's why it's always on, unless you turn it manually off and go to the deep settings to turn it off. I think there's profit to be made from here is my point. Like 9/11, like what happened beyond 9/11, like security, right? Now it's like, now it's it's secure your family, you secure yourself, and doing this this dance of where I'm not sure exactly what it lays out because we're still inside of it, right? But I feel like there's something to that, the fact that we all have to separate, we all have to be, you know, that we can't see each other anymore. The fact that, you know, security is beefing up on our mobile phones to track other people. The fact that the fact that the people from government, from mayors and governors are telling us what the fuck to do to shut down stuff. That, dude, by the way, they will not stop just as coronavirus. Something else goes down, shut it down. Something else goes down, shut it down. That's what they're going to do, just like they did with the airport. The airport security didn't go backwards. It went forward and forward and forward and forward. This whole thing with coronavirus and everything that's happening, it's only going to progress. It's only going to get worse. And that's what bothers me. Because I'm like, you know, what if it's a certain point where, like, I literally can't change certain settings on my phone or something because they're like, we're trying to find people who have disease near you, or some bullshit that they're trying to convey. They're always going to come up with some kind of excuse why you cannot do X, Y, Z.
That's what sucks is like, is there reason to be concerned about the coronavirus? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, is there a lot of things to fear in life? Dude, there's so many things to fear in life. So like, I get it that like, this is like kind of the pace car on what we let the government do in our lives.
Yeah.
With when things get dicey. But dude, life is dicey.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 things to be concerned about on a daily basis.
Yep.
This thing is a disaster. It is a pandemic. But like, to let like governors and mayors close down like beaches when you're supposed to get vitamin D to combat this virus, to close down playgrounds when they have no idea whether or not it can live on surfaces, and like kids aren't even susceptible to dying. Dude, 2 people in Los Angeles under the age of 25, or sorry, in California have died under the age of 25.
Wow.
So like, the biggest thing that I have with this whole virus is the fact that like, we have millennials right now look like the weakest generation that we've ever experienced in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to talk about ourselves being heroes as staying inside, wearing masks and social distancing when we're not susceptible to the virus. A hero would go get the virus, quarantine, wait till he can't pass it on to others, use that immunity to then go serve people.
Yeah. Get blood.
Take that risk on. Dude, we're not going to die of this virus.
Yeah.
Stop being so narcissistic and thinking that you're the person that's going to die of this virus that's uniquely 1 or 2 people out of under age of 25. Only 6 people so 6% of all of the United States casualties to the coronavirus, based on the CDC statistics, 6% have solely had the coronavirus as the reason of death. every 94% of people that have passed away with the coronavirus also had pre-existing things
Yep.
that with that created a multiplier effect that caused their death.
Yeah.
So like, if you have a ticking time bomb that you don't know about and you get the coronavirus, there's potential that you die. If you're under 25 and you're still wearing a mask, like, or wearing a mask scared, thinking that you're saving yourself, dude, stop it. Don't get
and
in
not
your
an
car.
N95 mask, by the way. Just like some
Don't
fucking cloth.
Don't get in your car. Your statistics are way worse.
Yeah.
Like, if a 25-year-old is scared of the virus, do not get in your car. Your statistics are way worse.
Mm-hmm.
If you are 16 years old and you're scared of the virus, do not get in a car. Look up those stats. You're fucked. If you think you're fucked and you're 16 because you're going to die of the virus, look up the car stats when you're 16. You're a million times more fucked than the coronavirus will ever fuck you. So like, now with that, like the problem with what I have with the media, and I find with a lot of my friends that are active, I have a lot of friends that like don't live near their parents. They live in New York, LA, San Francisco. And like, they're unwilling to walk outside because they're trying to protect someone in a nursing home. But it's like, dude, like, how many people do you actually have in your circle that like then bounce to like an older generation individual? We need you on the front lines to be able to help support kids' education, help the economy, help moving forward, create some optimism. Dude, go support your local business. Like, stop hiding from this thing. Like, there's no fear. There shouldn't be fear. Should we beef up security at like nursing homes? Absolutely. Like, this is a boomer remover. Like, not even though, like, it's more like a person who's like 72 years old and older. Like, that's when you have to be really fearful.
Feels like a boomer remover, but I get.
But the average age of death of the coronavirus, based on CDC statistics, is the same average age of death as natural causes in the United States.
Yeah. And
it has not changed our average age of death. It's the same exact age. So like, what are we doing?
You know, and so in what that comes down to is I feel like we should just talk more about health, you know, like, because like we're like I'm watching the news and they're still not talking about health. People have been talking about this for months now, and they're still not talking about eat your veggies. God damn it. like drink your water. Like, get more vitamin D. Like, do all these things in order. We're watching. My dad is like a news fanatic. So now that I'm here, I just see it, and I'm just watching fucking Gavin Newsom's fucking face. Just sit there and talk for an hour about like basically procedures in place and how we should do it, and he's just repeating himself on basically how you should just stay inside and just not touch anything and everything.
Wear a mask, cancel everything, as Garcetti said.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, like not once did he mention like, dude, like eat proper food, stop going to fucking McDonald's. Even let's just say this was a Chinese conspiracy, what would they say? They'd be like, okay, we're gonna take out Americans with this disease, and this disease attacks underlying conditions, right? Okay, so what do a lot of Americans have? What? High blood pressure, diabetes, propensity to cancer at a certain age, because of the shit that they eat and ingest and not do, right? And not exercise and all these things. And like, but the counter to it, there's no talk about the counter to it. There's no talk about fighting it from a naturalistic perspective. It's pretty strange, you know. But like in my opinion, I'm just like, I'm taking vitamins every day now. You know, I'm looking out for myself because I don't want to get sick, just in general. Because if I get sick in general, like, I have more propensity to get another sickness or whatever.
Sure, that's why, like, dude, like, you should be having, like, increase your vitamin D, supplement your vitamin C and your zinc. Like, keep that up. And like, you also got to keep your health up. We have to limit our drinking. Like, these are different things that we need to do. I'm not saying that like I'm always doing that though. Like, I'm also a person that's a violator with some of that. I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah, no, I me too. I'm a yeah, me too.
But like, that's what our leaders do need to be talking about though. Like, at the same time, they're always like, wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask, social distance, social distance. Like, dude, wake up with a smoothie, bro. Yeah. Wake up with a smoothie. And everybody always wants to say, well, like, not everybody can have a smoothie. It's like, dude,
yes, you can.
Stop it. Like, to get like spinach and a banana and some avocado, like, that is not the most expensive items. I do understand.
It's actually, believe it or not, it's actually one of the cheapest. If you go to the grocery store, more so than meat, more so than the fucking fries, the shit or go to McDonald's every day, that's actually one of the cheapest things you can do.
Right. And so like, that stuff actually there is elements of accessibility to be able to provide that to yourself. There are some communities that don't have as much accessibility to the fresh organicness of that. But at the same time, dude, like, we got to speak to the masses, and like, the masses do have the ability to have that.
Like, yeah, they do. They do.
Okay.
Dude, that's a whole different ball game. I lived in the hood in Gardena and in fucking all these places, and I was wondering. I was like, because I coming from Chino Hills to Gardena. I'm like, excuse me, why? First of all, what is the Mexican grocery store called? Cardenas?
Maybe like Northgate.
Northgate, and then there's a couple of them, but yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to these places because they're like the nearest ones to where I was at, and they really don't have the accessibility of a lot of fruits. They have fruits and vegetables, but not like to the level of like
it's not Whole Foods.
If you go anywhere in West LA or like, you know, Hollywood or anything like that, or even Chino Hills and stuff like that. I'm like, well, what is going on here? Because like, it's not even set up in the direction of like, hey, you should eat healthy. It's set up in the direction of based on whatever is in that area and whatever y'all eat. So we're just kind of copying y'all. So we're in this place in Gardena. We're gonna sell a bunch of Mexican food and like fry this, fry that, meat this, spice that, blah 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 blah, and a couple of veggies that complement your Mexican food, but not like a full blown spread of fruits and veggies. It's not pointed in direction. It's not like if you go to a Whole Foods or Sprouts, it basically says, hey, we're here, eat healthy. That's what, when you walk in. That's
you have to walk through the vegetable section, even though like most people just walk through it. Yeah, but like at least you do have to like walk through it.
Yeah, at least they give like they want your intention to see like an option of going healthy.
You feel healthier when you walk into Whole Foods. Like you immediately you're like, I'm gonna start doing better.
Yeah,
it's really like walking into a church and being like, I'm gonna pray more. I'm gonna start praying more.
Totally, 100%. You know, but the fucking, you know, these places in these hoods, which is extremely unfortunate because of that's where, you know, the fruits and veggies gets expensive. That's where the excuse of it's too expensive. It's far away. I don't have access to it because of what these grocery stores literally select. The stuff that's going to be in there reflects the community out on the outside, which is pure insanity. When you can literally change the community from the grocery store in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to sound like someone who just created a chain of grocery stores.
No, but it's real though. Like there is some accountability that we need from people that are like running those different things to make sure that's all available. I think in places like LA, it is pretty readily available. I see that being fairly accessible. Most people really do have cars. Most people have that access to know that. And most people know that like they're doing wrong, right? Like most people know that they're eating unhealthy. Like I think it's always a little bit narcissistic when like you'll hear white people be like, yo, bro, like black people don't know that like you're supposed to eat healthy.
Nah.
Wait, dude, like that's the most racist thing.
Yeah.
Or being like, dude, like they might not have had access to the internet. It's like, stop it. Like, absolutely. Is there community that internet accessibility is difficult? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do those neighborhoods happen to be like black and brown? Yes. But predominantly, dude, everybody has access to the internet and everybody knows we're not eating healthy.
There's no
So
site
it's
to walk
so
to.
funny
So
when
you
people think
can't
that
look
they
up
like
recipes
are
for
not being racist by like saying shit like that. I'm like, bro, come on.
No.
Like, no. Like this is a normal human conversation.
It's that's totally not it. But I can see from living there on how, like, if I lived there for a long time, say I had friends in that community, say I had all my life was in that community, I can see how it's a community thing, because it's they're not even a lot of people in certain communities just are not thinking about.
Well, there is less access. There absolutely
Yeah.
is less access to fresh stuff. Like when it comes to like walking distance and what's right in your vicinity, a lot of the time, there's absolutely less access.
Right.
Because like it's just the corner store stuff, right? Like I've even like lived like if you live next to a corner store, and like the last like 10 years of my life, I always have. Like the only thing you can really get in a corner store that's a vegetable is maybe like a banana for fruit, and then like an onion maybe, and sometimes like some random peppers would be in there if it's like a corner store that's doing something.
Yeah.
And you primarily are like getting hot fries, hot Cheetos, like sour cream and onion chips, beer, Red Bull, soda.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, that's probably like your pickup. You know what I mean?
Right.
Popcorn if you feel like you're being healthy that night, like
Yeah.
with extra butter.
Yeah, with extra butter. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's something, it's something that's really interesting. LJ, it's something that you do though. Your events, the events that you do over in Watts, helping out the community over there, and really like the Watts, helping out the Watts Empowerment Center, and helping out the kids,
Sure.
and really like helping steer in the right way, like helping steer in a better way. Helping with health and life and education. Elof's really in touch with that, and I know you're doing the work. So we're not just talking here. We're doing, you guys are doing the work here.
100%.
And to really like help steer people in the right way.
That's where I don't think like I will never deny the fact that there's obstacles and barriers. Like, dude, there's definitive obstacles and barriers.
Totally.
And how we discuss them, I think, is sometimes where our approach is wrong. And then realizing that like in all humanity, there is like a classism in America for sure. And there's people, there haves and there's have-nots. That's freaking real. I do think that America loves the have-nots though. Like once you kind of finally know yourself and are willing to speak your truth and being able to have confidence in like, dude, I'm from nothing. America actually loves that story. Like, granted, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of barriers to potentially, if you think you're going to go to the normal route of how to get out of have not.
No,
there's like so many barriers, but there is a few like weird little fast tracks out. If you can find yourself in that space and be like, dude, I'm this, I want that. Yeah. There is little fast tracks out, but like there's more barriers than there are fast tracks. 1,000% out. Yeah. And then there's a lot of life in America in the middle class and upper middle class that like you live in the fast track. You can like boo-hoo and pout and be like, I don't have it. I don't have a good life. It's like, dude, you're living in someone else's fast track, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that doesn't mean that depression isn't real. Like, and anxiety isn't real. I've had anxiety and depression while being in the fast track, while having kind of no barriers.
Yeah.
Sometimes playing the game of bowling with the bumpers on, which is sometimes being white, upper class or upper middle class in America. It's like playing bowling with bumpers on. After 1,000 games of bowling with bumpers on, there's this weird depression that sets in. Because you're like, dude, this game's rigged.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of there is an element of oddity to that actually doesn't like provide you real happiness. And if you let your ego build in that space and think that like that's your way out, you find yourself becoming really depressed because you realize the bumpers are on, but you're still playing this fake game where you're like you're trying to act like the bumpers aren't up.
Right.
And that's where depression comes in. You're like, dude, no, the bumpers are up for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like when you're serving in a place like Watts, like you realize that the issues there often are too blanketed as like, this is the problem. Gang violence is the problem.
Right.
Absence of the father is the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like access to jobs is the problem. Like, honestly, the problem is very individual.
Yeah, the problem is real intricate for sure.
Each individual kid has a select group of problems. Like, dude, like I was talking to a police officer last night and he was like, so, and he's one of the guys that actually like works in Watts. And he was like, the biggest problem in Watts is like the fact that like parents are bad parents. And I'm like, you know what? Like I grew up in like more of a white place in Minnesota and kind of like a white suburban town, Rochester, Minnesota. And I find that in Watts, it's the same as far as good parents and bad parents. There's good parents and there's bad parents.
Yep.
And like some parents are a little bit helicoptery, right? Like they're actually bad parents because they care too much. They don't let their kid like grow. Some parents are very involved in their kids' school and like do an unbelievable job of like being there for them and comforting them and like helping them understand the world from like a perspective that's broad and vast and helping them have new experiences in different environments.
Yeah.
Some parents are too young to even know the difference.
Yeah.
Some parents are just too young.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's just like, dude, like I couldn't imagine having a kid at 16, a kid at 20. Like I can't really tell that parent that they're a bad parent. Like you're just too young.
Yeah, and they're just trying to figure it out, and you know, whatever methods they use to execute that is you know, they think they're right, and that whatever that is what it is.
And then some parents like just think money solves the problem, right? Like, yo, like I'll just chip you off some cash here, go to the store, and I'll be out. Yeah. And like, dude, that happens in every neighborhood. It matters. It happens in every class. It happens in every race. Like, so when we blanket things, which blanketing things regards to race is racist. Yeah. Like that's what that means. Like it's like having a prejudice towards a specific race. Like, dude, you're kind of being racist by saying like the issue is not enough dads. Now there's reasons that there's not enough dads, and that's a broader conversation. There isn't enough dads, but like, and there's a vast amount of reasons of why that's the case, right? Like there's increased incarceration for Black and brown guys.
There's like, I read these numbers, and there's only like half of the men, Black American men, free right now. Like half. Damn near.
And so like when it comes to our criminal justice system, like, dude, there is 1,000 problems that are specifically tied to race.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
And so when people want to say that there's not, like, I don't necessarily believe that like every system of American society has systematic racism, but are some of the most important silos still crippling people in regards to race? 100%, dude.
Yeah.
And criminal justice, like that place is one of the most crippling spaces that specifically young Black men are fucked in right now.
Yeah, it's not bueno. And you know, it starts with I don't know, it starts in many different ways, but I know what bothers me is something that came up when I was over hanging out with you over in Watts, but it's the notion that, you know, I'm a kid or whatever, and my name is RJ, and I'm bad. Why? First of all, I'm just doing my thing. Why do you think I'm bad all the time? You never said I'm good. You never called me good once. First of all, you never even told me how to be good. You just say bad, 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 bad. How dare you?
That's why I like with certain kids, I'll be like, "You're wild, but you're not bad."
Right. And
Like,
that's wrong.
You're a wild little kid. Don't get me wrong. You got good energy. You're a wild kid, but I will not call you bad. And
Right.
stop calling yourself. You're not bad. You're not bad. I know you. You're a good guy. You care about your
Right.
friends. You care about your mom. You care about your granny. You care. You
Right.
cry about the stuff you're supposed to cry about. You laugh about the stuff you're supposed to laugh about. You're
Right.
good.
Right.
But you're also like ADD as fuck and like you wild. And
right.
I'm that, right?
Right.
Like,
Dude, I when I was a kid, I was 100% that. So I identify with it a little bit. And then like, but there's a certain level of like well, kids when there's a certain time where a kid's heads will click and just say, well, whenever I do something bad is the only time I get attention. So fuck it, I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
mm-hmm.
And then I'm not even listening to the bad anymore. It's just this is how I get attention. And you see that play out in long form, and like it ends up in people dying, go to jail, shooting the craziest, doing all crazy shit. Like, and that happened, by the way, that still happens in everyday life. It's not just us poor black fans. It's everyone. It's like it's people shooting the craziest prank videos on YouTube or something.
That's why like it is tough. Like I do see, so reckless behavior is a thing that all men desire.
Yeah.
I can't speak to women on it because I've never been a female, right? But I know as a male, I've desired reckless behavior.
Oh yeah.
And I say there's a differentiation because I haven't seen as much reckless behavior desired from females as men.
No, not
Men seem to desire it more. Like look at action sports and stuff. And
Yeah.
so it's all about like creating avenues for that recklessness to break.
Yeah.
The same thing that we talk about, like laughing to allow sadness to break, right? Like, so like we need release.
Yeah. There's like Jackass. There's no women's Jackass.
Right. So like what's tough in some of these more impoverished neighborhoods and in like a project, some of the real recklessness is like, dude, like the activity with like guns and like drugs is so close. Like I paintballed houses to be reckless, but like people are actually shooting guns.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like I feel so bad that like the release is in that space.
Yeah. The release is in fighting. The release is in shooting. The release is in cussing them, MF her out.
And it's like before you even know like the realities of life, like I still feel young in life. I still feel I feel blessed that I'm able to live as long as I've already lived. But at the same time, I still feel young in life. 33 years old. I'm like, dude, there's a lot ahead of me.
Yeah.
A lot of the decisions are being made recklessly that are like ending people's lives in a lot of these areas, dude. That's like young men.
Yeah.
Way too, almost too young to call a man.
Mm.
Like it's still a kid, dude. Like it's 16 to 22. Like what?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how we have a cultural revolution that like I think like hip hop was like one element of art to push recklessness into a positive place.
Yeah.
Because I can say reckless things. I can, be wild. I can get that energy out and not actually do it.
Right.
Like even like an artist like 6ix9ine who's like a fake, right? He's like, dude, I fake this. Like this isn't actually a lifestyle I live, right? But like this is like where I put my energy.
Right.
So even if you're talking about bullshit, I think it's safer than being about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally.
And I don't know. Like I think I'm a weirdo. Like a lot of people think that video games are like hurting society. I actually think video games are saving us. Like, dude, if you need to go on GTA and be a fucking wild person shooting people up, do that there, man.
Dude,
like live that there.
Dude, I've seen the people that play video games. Video games is saving our asses. Video games is saving many school shootings. I'll tell you that right now. I'm serious. Because it's allowed, like you said, it's allowing an avenue to do, like, it's literally allowing an avenue of reckless behavior.
Right. And like, dude, when on a video game, It's fun to steal cars.
Of course.
It's fun to do it's fun to get a bazooka and just
shoot grandma's
like,
house on the fucking bazooka.
and
Whatever.
that's a scary thought to think about as a human. Why is that fun?
Yeah.
Now, when it's like fake things, it's like
Right.
obviously not lives dying.
Right.
You like it's funny.
Right.
It's dude, guys are messed up. That shit, like GTA is like the most profitable franchise like ever.
Why? Because of just the ability to do whatever you want and essentially live a virtual life in LA, because that's where the map is.
Right. Really good depiction of LA, actually.
That is excellent, actually.
Like I'm like before I lived in LA, now that I drop in here and I still have friends do it to this day, they're like, dude, this is GTA. It's like, no, bro, this is a real city. Like,
yeah.
But everyone's like, this is GTA. It's like, no.
First of all, literally every building in LA in GTA is a real building in LA. Like every single one. Like
it's crazy.
It's crazy, and that's maybe that's a part of it, because it's like but anyway, it's like essentially living like a virtual rich life, because you're supposed to be, the whole point of GTA is getting money, getting rich, and then you live a life in that virtual space and you feel good about it, and if that's what you feel that you can put that energy in, to feel good about whatever, then hey, why not, but definitely, right. We don't want our men, going on real reckless behavior and really shooting MFers and bazooking and taking people's cars and all this other shit, but hey, at least we can, expend that energy in here, because I'm telling you, MFers are crazy. People like were really shooting at people.
Yeah, like there was just a drive-by yesterday, like
Ooh.
Pretty early in the day, like right outside the center, about 100 yards from it.
Oof.
Well, I don't know what time of day it was. It was maybe like noon, like maybe 1 o'clock.
You hear it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like pop, 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 pop. Like he shot a bunch of shots into this car, didn't hit anybody.
Oh, thank God.
But like it was crazy because like the guy who was getting shot at, like it crashed the car into like a car right outside the center, and so it is bizarre, dude. Like this happens. It's
no, that stuff really happens. It's crazy.
So like it's like it's such bizarre stuff sometimes, and like I'm very new to this, but like some of and I'd never actually heard or seen that in that capacity, like that close to me ever before in my life. But like I've heard the kids be like, hey, like they were shooting last night, right? Like and when you see it in reality, it's such a bizarre thing where you're like, that's really happening.
Real.
Like you actually have to recenter yourself and be like, hey, like I'm living life, but this is real. This isn't a dream. Like this is happening right now. Like we need to go to check on a person to see like if that person's good. Yeah. Like is that person like dealing with their worst day? Like right now, like are they dying? Like what's happening? Like, but the community surrounds it in an interesting way. Like people really look after each other.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not something I know the answers to though, man. Like I don't go to these centers like thinking that like I know what's going on. Yeah. I'm just like, I know that we need more positive energy and I'm pretty good at providing positivity, but like I'm not there to provide answers. I'm like, yo, like kiddos need to be kids. Like and the only answer that I think I can maybe provide a space that's dealing with the negativity that I see. I know there's a different life. I know there's a different world out there. I'm from a privileged place where I didn't know a life like that.
Right.
It exists on Earth, bro.
Right.
It exists. That's the only thing I can provide. Like I hope to provide that optimism and bring that hope into that space where I'm like, what you're seeing is reality.
Yeah.
However, there is a different life available.
There's a lot more, and I feel that way too. Especially, I feel that way too when I went down there. I was like, wow, it's really interesting. One kid actually put my put a hand on my head. Is like, is that your real hair? And this is a dumb question, but it made me think. Actually, I was like, Of course it is, but I was thinking, I was like I'm very strange to you. You know what I mean? And I'm very strange to most people. I'm just thinking, I'm like, but not as too much to like a right. I feel like I come from a different world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a cleaner, like a straight, like they were like, dude, your hair looks so dope.
Right.
Like, is that real?
Yeah, they're like, what is that? You know?
Even though these kids are fresh, man. These
No,
kids
they are fresh. They are
down
fresh.
there. They've been
They
teaching
are
me
fresh.
of like, yo, that they got some styles down there that I'm like, yo, that
Mad
you
style,
literally
man.
know more about fashion than I do, and you're like fourth grade.
Come to think about it, I was actually talking to my boy about this vibe the other day, and I'm thinking I might buy some shoes from them because what's gonna happen is they're gonna keep growing, and I'm gonna need them shoes. So, so yeah. So I was thinking about that. Actually, I was really thinking about. I was like, I gotta start buying shoes from kids, but but yeah, no, it's
The kids were talking about you today.
Oh, really?
So the kid who likes you the most, who's like hardest on you right away,
yeah.
like loves you, bro.
Oh, awesome.
Loves you.
I'm
and
good.
so I was like, we were doing math, and he was like, when's your friend coming by?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I actually don't know. And he's like, he's coming tomorrow. And I'm like, no, he's not coming tomorrow. But he was just like, dude, he loves you. So it was fun, man.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. I'm glad, that's really interesting how that happened, how that whole psychology happened. But I get to go by next week. I get to go by next week and say what's up. Because,
really? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I get to go by and say what's up. Because that was good. That could be really refreshing. Like it's almost felt like I went to church a little bit. Like it was refreshing to the chest. You know what I mean?
Sure, 100%.
So it felt,
and honestly, in COVID time, it's weird because like we're open. We are open. Like,
yeah.
Like you look when class is in session, like we're wearing masks and stuff, like, but we're open.
But you guys get to be open because my God, you guys get to be open.
Well, that's the thing. Like there would actually be people that'll come by and be like, "Yo, you guys should be shut down." It's like, what are you talking about?
Are you crazy?
You're
no, this is the time to be open. No,
this is like we have to run towards the storm, not away from it all the time.
Right.
Like, sorry, like, and I'm no hero.
No.
Like, dude, we just have to be honest with ourselves and be like, dude, there's a lot of life to live, man. Like, stop it. Like, everyone gets so up in their own butt and they think they're being like these heroic figures. They think they're being so dope. It's like, dude, just be a person. Stop it.
Dude, so stop it. Dude, my sister, she was like, she's so huge on coronavirus right now. She was one of the biggest persons that I was just like, I felt so weird about. But anyway, but she was like, she saw my video of when I was over at the center, and she was like, why aren't all the kids wearing masks? I was like, excuse me, they're 10. That's why. Like, that's all I said. I'm like, what do you think? Do you really think that they're gonna, while they're playing or games, like, just think for a second. So anyway.
Like, look, there is moments in time where I have every kid have a mask on.
Right.
During class when we're inside, like these are moments that we do get masks on every kid. I consistently am pushing it and pressing it. Like, dude, wear a mask.
But I'm rolling into the gym. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, I'm so confused how people like think this is supposed to play out. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
but even beyond
you're
that,
surrounded by 20 kids between the age of 7th grade and like 3 years old.
Right.
And you think that like everyone's going to wear a mask? Like, dude, what world are we living in, bro?
Even beyond that, it's like one thing that like we kind of just skipped over when this whole thing started that I just blew my mind that I couldn't fucking believe. Dude, even if everyone were wearing masks, it doesn't fucking matter. Everyone has to be wearing N95 masks for it to fucking matter. Everyone.
Dude, COVID.
On over the nose.
You can't breathe in an N95 mask. I put one of those on. I was like, nope.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's definitely tough. But my point is, if everyone's wearing masks and we're still in this exact same situation,
9 months later,
it doesn't matter. You can still get caught. It doesn't. They're just fucking cloth pieces to protect other people from getting it that are basically in front of you, not to the side, not around, like covering you, like not kids when they're basically covering me. Like, come on now.
Here, I'm gonna check my results right now. I just got tested yesterday. All right.
So it's beyond me. It's beyond me.
Yeah, we'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna see if I got they've my tests are in yet.
I gotta get tested tomorrow.
Dude, in testing still. It was busy yesterday in
Really?
testing. Really busy.
Did you have to pay for your testing, by the way?
No, go to the Dodger Stadium. Everybody in LA, go to the Dodger Stadium. It's super quick, slick. It's free.
Yeah, because I'm not. Why would I pay for a dumb test just for?
And you get like every I usually would get my results within 24 hours. This time I have not. This is the 10th test that I've gotten. I always get tests before I travel. I get tests after I travel.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that I haven't gotten in 24 hours. It's still saying in testing. So we'll see.
So, but yeah, man, it's wild. So it's wild. So yeah, man. So freaking a couple more things. I just want to chat with you about. I didn't necessarily ask you to look up a subject, but just we can maybe something that's maybe on your mind. And we kind of have been talking about it for quite some time. Something smart, which was the whole coronavirus thing. Well, what's something real smart that's something that piques your interest, something that's on your mind.
Really smart that piques my interest right now.
Yeah.
Wish that we had more that we like people were caring about at this moment. I hate it that we only care about the coronavirus right now, as if that's the only thing that exists, right?
Yeah.
Musk this is what I'm very interested in right now, and I don't know if this is a smart topic, but it's certainly intriguing to me. The mass exodus out of California.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk has re-solidified that he's leaving LA.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost Joe Rogan. A lot of the people that like have the choice and that have business in this place are leaving these areas.
Right.
Like, what does culture look like in this new space where like LA, New York, and San Francisco are going to be less important? Or is it a renewal? Does the importance stay, and we have renewed faces and renewed conversations having in the place? Like, do we lose the importance in these epicenters, or is it just renewed?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent question, because it's something that's been tentatively on my brain for a while, and I thought about this, as a Californian, born and raised, I don't really care that anyone leaves. Joe Rogan, Elon Musk alike, and I like them both. I love them both, but it doesn't affect me. I don't care, and I never met both of the guys anyway.
Yeah, it speaks to a higher exodus, though. Like I've seen a lot of friends leave.
Yeah, so I'll put. Let me give.
The transplants are gone.
Yeah. Let me give their perspectives from a California perspective. I don't think true Californians care, but from like looking up, like I think it's a problem. I think it has a lot to do with our high ass tax rate. I went to New York and they're talking to me about taxes. I was like, yeah, we pay more taxes than you. I was in Manhattan, and the guy was selling me this fucking phone case. And he was talking. I was like, yeah, you 9%, me 13%. In Silicon Valley, it's like more than that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they're like, whoa, they're like, they're like looking at me crazy with their indoor dining and shit. So which was beyond me. I was like, wow, like how come anywhere else other than California have all these restrictions, but literally New York City, which I would assume would have coronavirus worse, have less restrictions.
Yeah, and Cuomo is continuing to say that like everybody else has done a poor job, and he's like, more people have died there like by a landslide.
I probably would have hated him too, but I lived there too. But it's just that's beyond me. But I think it has number one has a lot to do with the restrictions and taxes.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's there's the highest business tax rate in California.
Yeah,
and there's one of the lowest business tax rates in Texas.
Yep.
And so it's interesting to me when I hear friends that like I have a lot of friends that have like moved to Texas, Austin more exclusively, who like would be very publicly like hating Texas for like their values and their like what they perceive to be their morals.
Yeah.
And then they leave Texas. And I've never heard a conservative come to California and say, I'm going to change California. I'm going to make it more conservative.
Yeah.
All my friends that move to California or Texas say, I'm going to change Texas. Get ready to be purple. And I'm like, dude, just be careful for what you're wishing. Like, you're leaving this state for a reason. You're not leaving this state because it doesn't have good weather. It has the best weather in the world. You're not leaving the state because it's not a good lifestyle. There's better entertainment. There's beaches. There's snow. Everything is here, bro.
Right.
Why are you leaving here? Because it's too expensive.
Too expensive. Yeah.
That's it. That's the only reason you're leaving. So like, if you're like, and why is it too expensive? Because we expect our government to change our lives. We expect them to change racial issues in America. We expect them to make us all equal. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
The government's not going to fix that.
By the way, what the fuck are they doing? I haven't. The roads are 60 everywhere are so fucked up. Like, they, like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
The roads?
The action is like we put in 10, we get $2 out. Like, what's the issue here? You know?
Right.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Yeah, it's too expensive. Yeah, we have the best shit here, all this other stuff, but like, yeah, it is pretty expensive. You know, me personally, I'm one of those guys that are just like, well, don't be broke or some shit, like, you know, or something. But like, I'm broke too, so what am I talking about? Or it's like, you know, it's many issues. I don't know. For me personally, like, I keep saying me personally because I love California so freaking much that like I would love to stay here, and maybe I'll be the part that changes into its new renaissance. LA's at renaissance. Maybe hopefully I'll be a part of that. Who knows? I don't know. But and I assume it will be a new renaissance because, you know, it always happens. Like every downside is always an upside.
Yeah.
You know, New York's gonna do the same thing. All that shit that's there, like, it's not just gonna go to waste. So,
right. Like, we're like, if California was a stock, and the stock is obviously dropped,
right,
and it's like at bottom right now, it's a bad spot. It's lower than we've seen it in a long time. I would bet on this stock.
Yeah, I would.
Heavy. I would bet all my money on this. I'd be like, oh, California or LA specifically has lost 30%. I love that. Yeah. That makes me feel good. I'm like, I'll invest all my money in that stock.
Yeah. More house for me. Right.
Right.
You know, like I to be frank, I thought of it a bit selfishly. I was like, more shit for me, more land grab for me. I was like, peace, motherfucker. I was like, peace, son. Because I mean, it's gonna come back. There's gonna be people who are gonna come back. This is gonna be people that are literally gonna move out and come back. The same people.
Oh, sure, 100%.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be like, in every, I don't know what, 12 to 20 years, right? Even minus COVID, before COVID, money always goes up, right? There's always people that move to Silver Lake and then they live there for a long time. They live there 20 years or whatever. And then after a while, then, you know, new apartments come up, new houses come up, new this, new that. And they're just like, oh, all these new rich people moving into Silver Lake, moving us out, and we can't afford It always happens in cycles. And this is one of the cycles where it's like, it's too expensive and I got to move out and I'm tired of these motherfuckers moving in to all this money. Great. We get to get new money and then go back in because I really do love this place, but I totally 100% understand you know, the move, people going to Nevada and you know,
like a lot of Arizona, a lot of Texas.
Arizona. Yeah, a lot of Texas for sure. You know, what is it called? Utah.
A lot of just moving home, like wherever you're from. Just like if it's Cleveland, if it's Minnesota, if it's Florida, people are like,
yeah, I'm out.
See ya. I'm out.
and it is what it is. But I'm I'll hold strong, and I'll be here when y'all get back or something. Yeah, maybe
It's
I'll
just crazy. Yeah. It's like, I think that like native LA people usually have LA people friends, and then like transplants have transplant friends. And so being a person who was a transplant and had majority transplant friends, like I've had like 20 people that like were either friends or like almost a friend, like an associate level, like bounce.
right.
And how many friends and associates can you have? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
max 100, mostly. I mean, 20 is enough. And
close.
like, I'm like, a lot of the people I knew are just gone. It's like, whoa, this virus it's changed more in my life than making me have a cough. I haven't had the virus, but like, it's drastically changed my life.
Yeah, no, for sure, and it definitely myself included. You know what I mean? It changed. I thought I was gonna be a fucking salesman for for the next 10, 20 years, whatever, for a high level company. And I was like, shit, I guess we ain't doing that no more. Like, I guess I'm gonna be a fucking TikToker or something. But like, but you know what? Screw it. It changed our life, and we move forward. Is what it comes down to. I, you know, yeah. I mean, you kind of just move forward with our life, because that's how life has to be. I mean, if I'm gonna be complaining and bitching and moaning, it is what it is. Or if I had friends that are outside of California, there's a chance I might move too. If my life was outside of California, I would move too. But the reality is, my life is all here, all here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Cause you thinking closer to home is just staying in California.
Just staying in California, like from top to bottom, it's all here in Southern
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. It's interesting from a person I've kind of fought that wave of everybody moving home. I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm kind of a weirdo. Like I like trust in investing low.
Yeah.
And I feel very privileged that I still have space and time to invest
Right.
low in LA.
Right.
And I just like it out here. Like you're always a plane flight away. Like you can always move home within 24 hours.
Yeah, you can always.
It's that quick.
It,
Like you go on Sun Country Airlines, you get a $150 flight and you're back home.
Yeah.
And you start telling everybody by Monday it'd be old news.
Yeah.
LJ's home.
Right.
The sizzle had already worn off. So
Right. And yeah, no, I totally get it, man. And people, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't like. I feel like I just recently moved home for like this short time that I'll be here. I'll be dang, I'm still in California. I fucking hate it. I don't want to be here. I want to get. I want to go back to LA. Because I'm like because it's just like the freedom to do. I mean, freedom to do whatever, and be with friends and hang out with them and do dumb stupid shit with them.
right.
So, that's always how I like to do.
It's real.
But yeah, man. So I mean, that's mass exodus to California. That's always an ongoing topic. I'm sure we'll actually continue talking about that on our next talk.
Sure.
Because that's something that's an ongoing subject that we can talk about. Yeah, man. Something mild for me. I mean, dude, let's see. I'm trying to think of something. Elon Musk. I don't know anything about it, but I know he's trying to one of his test flights, his test rocket that go to Mars is crashed. But that's just a test. No one was in it, so
Yeah.
I know that.
Because he got those people up, right? He got the astronauts up to the space station.
Yeah, I believe so, which is awesome, dude. Think about this. Think about how long like NASA could barely do their ass job, and then a private company, SpaceX, comes in and then just like handles it. They're just like, yeah, we need a little bit of your assistance, maybe your astronauts, but that's pretty much it. And we'll just keep it moving.
And everybody, like, Elon Musk is such an interesting guy because like people try to look at him like Kanye, right? Like as if like just a crazy guy. And it's like, and I actually don't think Kanye is a crazy guy. We all like, it's all so funny. Like there's always like different spectrums of like levels of people, right?
Oh yeah.
And then like people are like, oh, like, are you as dumb as like a Logan Paul, but I actually am like, Logan Paul's not that dumb.
Not dumb.
He's kind of cashing out.
He really isn't.
And then they'd be like, but are you as dumb as Cardi B? And I go, although like she's a wild person, like I don't think she's that dumb.
Yeah, no, she's not dumb.
And then are you as dumb as Donald Trump? And I'm like, Donald Trump became president. Like, who are we calling dumb anymore?
1 second. I'll be there in a second. Yeah, I'm on a live call. I'll be there in a minute. Okay, I'm back.
So then we'll talk about like, well, okay, so you're not as dumb as like them, but like, are you as dumb as like a Kardashian? And then I'm like, dude, like, what are you talking about? So, but it's funny that we even group Elon Musk even relatively into that spectrum, right?
You know why? Celebrity.
Levity. Yeah, but he's a genius.
Yo, big time.
Like, to thank God we have an Elon Musk. Like, although even like the people that I would call bullshit celebrity, I actually think are like, they're smart when it comes to media, money, business, and the value of fame.
Yeah.
There might be a cost on your soul with that, but I still think these people are business people.
Yeah.
What we like to call bullshit, the fact that we even think for a second that Elon Musk lives in that, the celebrity thing, dude, he's not a celebrity. Elon Musk is a scientific genius. And maybe there's not much genius in science. Maybe there's genius only in his ability to say, we can achieve more. We can achieve more. Maybe he is like Logan Paul in the sense that like Logan Paul goes, I'll take Vine and then I'll fight Floyd fucking Mayweather.
Yeah.
And like, but like Elon Musk is so crazy and so wild that he goes, I'm going to fly to fucking Mars.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know, it's like everybody thinks like a Logan Paul is crazy for thinking he could fight another human.
Right.
Elon Musk is like, let me double down, triple down, 1,000% down on you. Right. And I'm going to take us to fucking Mars, dude.
Right.
And maybe in a weird way, the processes in the brain are actually similar to get those things up and running. Maybe it takes the same level of crazy. But what's different about Elon is that he brings it into practicality and does it past a place that's ever happened before.
Right.
It's not even close to have happened before. Right. A lot of the stuff that he's doing, at the price that he's doing, at the speed that he's doing it. Yeah. He's defying the expectation of what our understanding that humans can do. Yeah. To not respect it, dude, like, is crazy.
You got to respect it. And I think the genius and the lure with Elon Musk versus some others is when he just speaks, even though it almost sounds like he's coming out of his ass. But the reality is he fills in the gaps and actually does it with his team, his engineering genius. You know, there's a lot of these celebrities that literally talk out of that. Kanye kind of talks out of his ass. Like, and I love the guy. I really do. I love his music and everything. But like now, beyond like maybe 2000, a couple years ago, he kind of just talks. And like, and there's a level of which he's telling the truth because he comes in and out. Kind of comes in and out of where he'll say something very true, very real, very something about the industry, and then kind of
100%
come out and then start talking nonsense. Elon Musk is just so fucking smart that he'll say something crazy and then he'll start talking about the details of whatever he's talking about, and then we just don't understand it. He's talking about the engineering of the details and the how to get it done and this and this and this and this, And it almost sounds like a similar tone and pattern of the celebrities that we've been listening to. But the reality is Elon Musk like fills in the gaps, executes it, actually makes it fucking happen, and has a team and engineering genius to do so.
And I don't know who I had heard this from, but it was somebody maybe on like a Joe Rogan episode, and they were explaining what makes Elon smarter than most people, and it's his ability to talk about the most like finite thing in different categories of like engineering. So like when we say like, oh, that person's an engineer, that means something to us. But when you say you're an engineer to an engineer, that doesn't mean anything yet to an engineer, because there's such vast categories of like engineers. So like there's the jet propulsion, and then there's just like a mechanical engineer, and then there's the astrophysicist, whatever. So there's all these like different like things. I don't even, astrophysicist might just be a scientist. Who freaking knows? That's how dumb I am when it comes to this conversation. But from this person's, the way that they articulated their experience with Elon is that he will go into the most detailed conversation with like the smartest person in that category, as if like, yo, this person hasn't put in 10,000 hours. They've put in the 100,000 hours in that space and the 100,000 hours and he will carry a conversation and press that person in each one of that individual person. And they're like, what just fucking happened?
Right.
He didn't keep it surface levels. Like most CEOs are really good at going surface level and then maybe 1 or 2 levels deeper. That's what makes you a great CEO. You can keep it kind of surface level and a layer or 2 deeper with every category of your business. Yeah. You can hit up the marketing team, the sales team, the engineers team, and like kind of sink a little bit. You kind of have a vast understanding. He has vast and depth of an understanding in so many different categories. They're just like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, and that's a real genius versus like Kanye.
But Kanye's got his own little genius in him. Like,
but I feel like me and Kanye can't have this conversation that me and you having.
Kanye is brand genius though. When it comes to like gravity and the way that people tick and the way, and so maybe you're right. We're like, I think Kanye's genius all lies on maybe one form of genius.
One thing, and that's fine.
Which in his genius is the control of how people think and knowing how to manipulate that tick to say, that's dope.
Yeah.
That click. He knows, like, he knows people well though. Yeah. He is smart at knowing how people move and what influences people.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he flipped the shoe game on its head.
Yeah.
And he said it. He called the shot before he did it. He was like, I'm going to change the fashion world. And every darn shoe looks like a freaking Kanye Yeezy now.
Yeah, it's insane now.
Or did. Last year it did, at least. It's kind of changed. Now we got the color schemes back. It's all colorful now. But for a second, it got super monotone. It was like everything had to be cream.
Yeah, cream and the fucking the gray.
I'm actually happy we're done with that.
Yeah, no, it's insane. I'm so glad I never bought a pair of this. I feel like my brain, I know, like, I feel like I saw a few pairs of Yeezys just today. My brain, like, whatever. But yeah, no, you genius in that level, and then this might be why he married the Kardashians, because they're both very smart in that way, of what makes people click. Kim probably knows the female side, who knows, and where like that makes they know like what makes people tick. Getting mad at something but still engage. Engagement. Kardashians know engagement on all levels. You know, to their brands, to the daughters, Kylie Jenner brand, to the this, to the that, to the other one modeling, everything. You know, and which is something really interesting. So, and that's actually not as complicated as you think, because I'm sure Elon Musk knows that shit too. You know, that's probably why he says certain shit and then dips out, tweets and then dips out.
His stock price doesn't even make sense. If you play,
I was trying to buy stock. When it went 4-1, I was trying to buy some, and then I waited like a fucking week, and it fucking tripled.
Dude, I don't know anything about stocks, but I know one thing. When Tesla goes down 2.5%, buy it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Yeah.
When it dips, buy it.
Yeah.
Because that thing keeps on
And
ticking.
It's gonna keep going.
Just like,
Same as like Uber Eats and shit.
wait
Uber,
for the dip
like,
and buy the dip on Tesla, bro.
it's beyond.
His stock price doesn't make any sense, but I play that game all day.
Yeah,
And then I'll sell it after it's like it'll go up 5% or 7%, taper off.
I gotta buy in because I already know that guy is just gonna probably put SpaceX. What if you just put SpaceX inside of the Tesla stock and just like
Oh, that's what's weird. So like, it's not related, but
no,
it's
but they kinda
related.
are.
With the price, it's related though. So like, SpaceX will do dope stuff, and actually Tesla's stock will go up.
Right.
It doesn't.
Right. It doesn't make sense because they're a private company. But
It shouldn't be related, but with the stock, it's related.
right. But at the same time, you know, because this maybe this makes sense. I just thought about this. The technology might be able to translate to some level in some part. Like it might be like the part that makes the jet do this might make the car do fucking.
That's
this.
because like I think everybody knows that like Elon Musk is the type of CEO that like, yeah, his schedule says SpaceX meeting or Tesla meeting.
Yeah.
But it's all building towards the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all building towards whatever he's building towards. I think he just builds towards more. Right.
Yeah, like
I don't think like those like levels of intelligence, man, maybe I'm an idiot when it comes to this, but like from my perception as an investor in Tesla stock, I have this kind of weird maybe faith or maybe like thought that like I'm guessing there's bleed over.
Yeah.
Because when I'm investing in Tesla stock, I'm investing in Elon Musk.
Right.
And I'm investing in people's perception of Elon Musk.
Right.
I'm not investing in like the Tesla car.
Right.
And that's the problem with Tesla stock, right? Like that's why it's overvalued and that's why you probably shouldn't even touch it. But people are people. And Tesla means Elon, and Elon's the smartest guy around. And so we're throwing our chips in his basket and we're like
we're like, go, man, go. Here's money, go.
I'm just like a hype guy, like your stock's at like 450 today. Go.
Yeah, go. Yeah. You know? So it's something incredible, you know. But you know, I like you said, thank God for those guys, man, because they really are pushing us to a future that I'm pretty pumped to live in, to be frank. You know, to have like underground fucking freeways and electric cars and you know maybe
wow, boy.
Once the recycling problem is fixed, I think we should be straight. You know, like okay. So it should be hopefully we end up good, man. Very good.
We'll
Yeah,
right,
man. I think we went through all of our main categories and then some. How you feeling?
I mean, this is smart and mild. Like
smart and mild, motherfucker.
We've been smart today, bro.
We've been smart and mild today. We've been real smart. Like, less mild, but definitely smart for sure.
So smart. Maybe.
Yeah, dude, this is pumping me up, man. This is our first episode of me doing this. We're gonna post this. We're gonna post this on all the channels we can. Get it out to people. Feel free. Anyone's listening, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and you know, give us some feedback on what you think, what you liked, what you didn't, and let us know so we can improve.
I think we can probably get this out. Like, we'll kind of talk about it. We can talk about it right now. Like, probably on Fridays we post.
Cool.
If that's what you want. So like, we'll make sure that we tape at a time that like allows us to post every Friday.
Yeah.
And like people can just get used to like a weekly Friday drop.
Yeah. I'm for it.
And it'd be fun.
I'm for it, man. I'm totally for it, you know. And this is something that really excites me. Just talk about stuff and then have people listening in, you know, even though we had someone actually send us a message. That got me really excited. You know, I was like, yeah. You know, they just said our sound was echoey, but awesome. We got someone. We got someone engaged.
Right. This was on this. We're also trying to stream at the same time on the Stereo app.
Yep.
Which is pretty dope. We'll figure out a way to be able to, so you'll be able to listen in live with us every single time that we do record, which might be a little bit sporadic. We're going to try to do that on Wednesdays as much as possible, but we'll kind of see how that plays out. I probably shouldn't make any for sure is with that. But
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
try to stream live on stereo every single time that we record, and then we'll be posting on all the platforms on Fridays.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I think that the thing with stereo might be the solution might be headphones, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But awesome, man. Awesome, man. Love talking to you today, man. Awesome, good stuff.
All right, buddy. I'll be talking to you soon. Smart and Mild, we're out.
Arm out. Yeah. Peace.